It's been just over 2 years since the world's most watched and reported on trial began. The Oscar Pistorius saga spanned 49 court days, with the judgment successfully taken on appeal to the Supreme Court of Appeal by the state. Pistorius then floundered in his subsequent application to overturn the SCA murder conviction in the Constitutional Court. Having spent a year in prison, released on correctional supervision, and now out on bail for murder, it all comes down to his week-long sentencing procedure before Judge Thokozile Masipa. Arguments in aggravation and mitigation of sentence will be heard, but what does this all mean? And what factors will Masipa have to consider in deciding on the Blade Runner's sentence? We asked constitutional law expert advocate Mark Oppenheimer to place himself in prosecutor Gerrie Nell's shoes and explain how the state is likely to push for the harshest sentence.
So the underlying principle is that there are three factors that play a role. It's called the triad of Zinn. The first factor is the nature of the crime, the second is the position of the criminal, and the third is the interest of society. So as Gerrie Nell, it's quite important to focus on the fact that the crime was of a violent nature, that Riva Steenkamp was in a helpless position at the time that she was killed, and that the bullets that were used were particularly brutal bullets. They were zombie stopper bullets. That will be the kind of evidence that he'll want to use to show why this is an aggregating factor and why a higher sentence ought to be imposed. So with regards to the nature of the criminal, the defense will want to say that Oscar is a vulnerable person who's going to have a particularly hard time in prison. And with regards to the interests of society, it appears to be the case that after the 5-year sentence was imposed initially, that people were up in arms. They were very upset and felt this was a low sentence. Gerrie Nell may want to draw attention to the fact that people were dissatisfied and felt that the interests of justice weren't served, and that a higher sentence on that basis ought to be reached. And so Gerrie Nell may want to draw on all the evidence possible to show why the highest sentence possible is what's deserved in these circumstances, given that a vulnerable woman died at the hands of her lover.